Thank you to xTiles for sponsoring this review. Notion but make it sticky notes? Sign me up. Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Mica Gonzalez, that's M-I-C-A, Gonzalez with a Z, and I try productivity apps so that you don't have to. And today's app that we are reviewing today is xTiles, also the sponsor of today's video. And we're gonna have a good review this time because I know a lot of you guys follow me for my Notion content, and this is kind of like a Notion alternative. And I'm very excited to cover apps like this because let's be real, maybe Notion isn't for you. Maybe you're looking for something else in your own productivity app kind of preferences and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that xTiles will be a useful alternative for some of you who maybe want something like Notion but isn't exactly Notion. So let's dive in. So I've just pulled up xTiles on my screen and you can already see at a glance that it is different from Notion in that it doesn't look like a doc. Like Notion is very much famous for looking like a document type of software. I mean, definitely there are different views and all that stuff, but you know, when you first open Notion, it's not how it looks like. So instead of working like a document type of app like Notion, with xTiles, if you're not surprised by the name, you can create tiles. You can just drag and drop to almost any size you can. Definitely there's a limit to how small you can make things, and I'm pretty sure there's a limit to how big you can make things. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to show you a very simple grid here, and just like that, after dragging and dropping, you can start to set up, you know, some blocks. I like to look at the tiles as something like a sticky note, so you can kind of do whatever you want to do with these notes. You can create just like normal text, but you can also create these with images in mind. Maybe you want to feature like some motivational quotes or pictures of your pets to motivate you, you know, to start the week, something like that. And that's just like some things that the most basic way that you can start using xTiles. So that was an image tile. I'm going to show you a to-do list tile. I'm going to just set up a nice 10 by 10 one over here. I'm going to give it a title, to-do list. Maybe it's my laundry list. I'm just going to press the slash key and then write a task, and then I'm gonna go do this thing, do that thing. And I don't like the gray look, so I am going to just you know, kind of customize it a little bit. So I want the title to be quite large, maybe a little bit bigger. That would be nice. I'm a fan of colored headings, so I see myself using it something like this. And let's make this red. Yeah. Let's actually add an icon. I'm a huge fan of adding icons to my Notion pages, so I think adding an icon to this is also going to be really fun. Let's make it the check mark. There we go. So that's kind of just the basics of how xTiles works, and I'm going to be populating this page now with all the different types of elements just so you see what they look like and you can kind of give it a look and see if, you know, this kind of tickles your interest a little bit. So what you saw just now, I was setting up a tile featuring some things like the toggle element, being able to add bullet points, even like this fancy little colored call out. You can do it right within a single tile. And then you can obviously move whatever you want to move, just like you would in any type of block type software like these. You can add headings and just try to add as many paragraphs as you want if that's how you want to use it. But of course, let me go back to something more practical, right? Like, what is exactly a way that you can use xTiles for your like day-to-day life? And I think for majority of you guys, the ones of you who watch my Notion videos, a lot of you would use it as something like your daily dashboard, something that you would be checking day after day for your to-dos, for your projects and all that stuff. So why don't we set up this xTiles dashboard right now in a way that's a little bit more you know, realistic and practical to how maybe the majority of you would find useful. So let me just go ahead and delete this and start setting up what I think would be a really good daily dashboard to have if you were to use xTiles. So I'm going to rename this to-do list to something like Monday. I think like it would be really cool if you had like a daily to-do list app. And then I already really like the styling of this, but I think we can just go a little bit different. Maybe like a star in this one. I really like the design, and to just quickly duplicate this, I think you can just like hit that and it'll just populate something for, let's rename this to Tuesday. And let's change the color from red to orange. And then let's just do the same thing for Monday through Friday. And another cool thing you can do with xTiles is you're able to nest notes within your tiles. So if you want to have a bunch of different, let's say, notes or pages kind of all in one place, you're able to set that up. So let's go ahead and do just that. So let me make a simple, again, another 10 by 10 grid. I'm just gonna call this quick links and go hit the slash key and go type notes, and you're going to see a nested note option here. And you can just click that, and it's gonna open like this, basically the note that you're just going to be creating. So you can just make this anything that you want. Maybe it's something, just stuff you might want to reference, but without having to just have it in one whole tile, in something that you maybe click into. Maybe it's like, maybe you're working on some quick like document that you want to just flesh out real quick. So maybe it can be like blog post draft for, the blog post that you're doing this week, and you can just like kind of start writing it out and using this kind of like a document. And it's just things like this that you are able to set up and do if you so choose. And like I mentioned, maybe the majority of you having a setup like this, a daily dashboard, weekly dashboard like this, is almost enough. And if it's not, then there's actually a ton of templates that you can use using xTiles. They have a huge template gallery. I haven't gone through every single one, but there are definitely some things that I could see myself using in the future. But you guys know me, I like having something very simple and practical, so that's why I like to set up my own stuff from scratch, just so it doesn't have bells and whistles that I know I won't be taking advantage of the most. So I think that if you're somebody who prefers a little bit more pizzazz with things like your dashboard, you can just check out the template gallery that xTiles has over here. As you can see on my screen, there are a bunch of different ones, and you can just use different productivity systems like the Get Things Done system, Smart Goals, the Second Brain. All that stuff is available as templates. You don't have to set it up from scratch. But now I want to move on to the feature of xTiles that I think is what I find the most useful for my workflow. So a lot of you who have seen my Notion videos, I'm huge with databases. I'm always creating project management boards using databases. I'm not really just like using blocks and all this stuff, kind of like how you're seeing on this dashboard over here. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do just that. I'm going to be using an example, setting up a content calendar for, say, YouTube. We're going to set up like a 1 month calendar, and then we're going to see all the different ways that we're able to use it, view it, customize it, and just use it as a project management system, and just be able to get things done. So to do that, I'm going to go here and create a new page. But instead of just creating a page, I want to create a new table view. You guys know me, I love my table views. If you prefer a calendar view, a board view, a gallery view, those are things that you can do with xTiles. But for this video, I'm going to show you a table view. And don't worry, we can showcase all the different views once we're done setting up this content calendar. So I'm going to name this my YouTube videos. Just give it a second, and we have here a table, a database already set up for us. Something you do have to note, xTiles calls databases collections, so it's just a different term for the UI, I guess. So I'm just going to go ahead and make up some different topics that I might do if I were to have a new YouTube channel. So I went ahead and added tags for each of these videos, and just similar to any type of database app, you can just like click into it, change it if you want. You can add a bunch of different ones if there's more than one. You can also turn this into a one type of select. So instead of multi-select, you just turn it into a select property, and it'll just kind of change it. You can do numbers. I don't need that for this type of database. What I might need is the date, like the publish date. And that's about as simple as you can make it. But if you do want to plan out even more of your own videos inside of xTiles, you are able to do so. So if you click into the card or the database item, collection item, you're able to start using this maybe as your outlines, your scripts. You can start putting like your talking points. That's how I did it, at least when I was using Notion for my YouTube channel. There won't be like this huge gap if you are moving from Notion to xTiles if you just want something more visual. Of course, one of the most useful ways to view a content calendar is using an actual calendar view. So I'm going to show you how to do that on xTiles. So just click the plus sign, go to calendar, and then just pick a grouping property. So you are going to want to have like a published date attached to all of your content ideas. Then just hitting that and giving it a minute, just a quick second to start populating. And there you can see really quick and easy. You can just drag and drop things if you want to reschedule them. And you can also showcase different properties if you want to have them visible here. So maybe let's add a tag feature. And a property I forgot to actually include into this collection is the status. That's something I always include in all of my project management. Anything related, I always have like some kind of status to show just what it is. There's no status property on xTiles natively, so the best thing that you can do, that I recommend doing if that is part of your process as well, is just to have the another select feature and then just calling it status, then having like different tags signify different statuses of your content. I'm going to go ahead and make this property visible to all of my content and then adding it to each of these sample cards that I have over here, and then show you another way that you can view this using another type of view for the collection. So now that I've done all that, let's add another view, and this time let's group it together not by date, but this time by the status. So we're gonna go ahead and add a view. Let's do a board view just because I'm a huge fan of Kanban boards, and we are going to group them by status. Give it a second to populate. And there you have it, like another different way to manage different projects, different content, whatever it is you want. And again, you can like customize your view. You can add different tags, you can add the publishing date, you can add whatever it is you really want. You can add files as properties as well if that's something that works in your workflow. So those two things that I showed you so far in this video, so creating a dashboard and all of the different types of elements and text and stuff and collections that you can do on xTiles, those are, I think, 80% of the ways that I would use it for very high level planning and day-to-day task management. But let me show you a few other features that I really like about xTiles, and I can see it being very useful for a lot of you as well. The first one is a calendar integration, so you can connect it to your existing Google Calendar. And you guys know I do love my Google Calendar. So if I go ahead and click this, you're able to see that I have some events from my calendar show up on this xTiles calendar view as well. You do have to connect it, of course. I don't show that on screen, but you're able to just see at a glance what events you have coming up without having to navigate to your Google Calendar tab or anything specifically. Another thing that I really like about xTiles is this task sidebar over here. So when you click it, you're able to see a bunch of different tasks that you have. And the cool thing is all of this is pulled from that to-do list that we made in the dashboard. So if I go here, you can see that I have all these different types of tasks. Yes, I did organize them by days here, but when I click into the tasks sidebar, they all auto-populate here. So even if I have a bunch of different to-dos in different pages, in different collections or what have you, you are able to see them right from here. They also show you what schedule you have, your agenda for the day based on the events on your calendar. So I think that's this is a really helpful sidebar to have for your just day-to-day stuff. One other cool feature of xTiles is you don't have to stick to the tiles format for every single page that you create. You can create something that's more of a document, so more Notion-like, if you need a page that is something like that without nesting it inside of a note, similar to what I have here on screen. So to do that, you just have to go to the plus sign, add a page, and then add a new document, give it a name, and then just like that, you're able to start creating a document-based page versus using it with the dotted grid that I think xTiles is most known for. And one final thing is the inbox feature of xTiles. So if you have certain things you want to jot down, you don't want to put them necessarily in a single collection or a different page, you just want to have it handy, you can just create something in your inbox. So you can just like jot it down in, this little sticky note type tile just pops up and you can start putting in whatever you want, and it lives here in your inbox. It doesn't live on any of your pages. So I think that's just really cool for having stuff that's really easy to access. You can also do some like web clipping from different pages where you're able to take something from a page and then clip it, then put it in your inbox so you can refer to it later, and then you can just keep on browsing as you normally do, and you just know that it's already here in your inbox waiting for you when you're ready to return to it or use it, or whatever have you. There's also a lot of features I probably didn't cover in this video, especially if you work with a team, if you want to have different team members working on the same projects and stuff. But as many of you guys know, I manage like my YouTube channel on my own, so it's not like I have a team, and I never really do team-based templates and showcases for Notion stuff anyway, so you know, this won't come as a surprise. But yeah, I think this is really cool. I definitely recommend xTiles for anyone who maybe, you know, Notion just didn't cut it for you. Maybe you wanted more customization, you wanted something more fun, you wanted something more refreshing, easy to use. I think xTiles really fits the bill, but it also comes with very powerful features like the collections features that I showcased with the content calendar. You can use that in all sorts of ways, and I think that's just awesome. Once again, thank you to xTiles for sponsoring this review. I would never have heard of the app if you hadn't reached out, and I'm sure many of my viewers will also appreciate learning about you as a different, you know, as a Notion alternative, something that's more visual, more pleasing to the eye. And I think definitely some people are a lot more creative than I am and can make their xTiles pages and dashboards look super beautiful. So be sure to let me know in the comments if you want to try xTiles, or if you're probably going to stick to Notion, or you're just going to keep your search for the perfect productivity app for yourself going. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!